What's up guys? So in about less than 5 hours time we'll have a new season. Alright, and the first card in the spotlight cache is Thena. Now, is Thena actually a good card? In my opinion, yes. Alright, and she will particularly shine in two kinds of decks. One, Hope Summers, and the other one being a bounce deck. Alright, so for Hope Summers deck, I think it's pretty straightforward. Hope Summers deck typically, you play you play one card on curve and you play another card that is small. So most likely, almost always a Kitty Pride. Alright, where you trigger Hope Summers. So that will typically land you with playing two cards every turn, which means you will be triggering Thena's ability without having to put in much effort. Alright, so Thena can actually scale up very high if you get her out on turn 2 and you trigger her ability on 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alright, that's 4 turns. 4 turns, that means she lands at 213. And if you are able to trigger Thena on the turn that you play her as well, she can scale up to 216. Alright, let me calculate again. Turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, turn 6. So that is 4 turns, 12, 213. Alright, and if you trigger her on her turn, that's 216. That is insane value. Alright, for bounce deck, a lot of people will be saying, but hang on, on turns 5 and 6, I would most definitely play more than 2 cards. Alright, and even turn 4, maybe I'll play more than 2 cards. Well, that is fine, because if you are able to trigger her on turn 3 alone, alright, if you are able to play her on turn 3, trigger her ability on turn 3, she is a 2-4, alright, which isn't that bad. A 2-4 isn't that bad, and all you have to do is to trigger her another time and she'll be a 2-7. Right, that actually allows you to put in some bigger cards in your bounce deck, like Iron Man for example, which goes crazy in best deck if you were to best Iron Man as well. Alright, so it is a possible play, and sometimes in bounce deck you end up finishing off with a play like Iron Man and Kitty, so you can finish off with a turn 6 play like that as well. So Thena actually works also. You may or may not be able to play just 2 cards on your turn 4, turn 5, or even turn 6. Alright, but you have to consider it as well. It's the same issue. Alright, if you don't want to play into the Angela lane, you want to play into other lanes, does that mean Angela is wasted? Well, to a certain extent, yes, but that doesn't mean that you don't include her anymore. Right, so I think a lot of people who claim that Thena is not going to be good in bounce deck because bounce deck you will likely play more than 2 cards. Alright, it's just about managing. Alright, and I would say probably you'll be able to trigger her ability twice in bounce decks easily. Alright, so that makes her a 2-7. Alright, and she's able to combat lockdown. Okay, so I would say that it's a great card. A 2-7 is very, very solid value. Alright, and considering that she can even combat things like lockdown, it makes her even better. My opinion for Thena is a great card if you are playing Hope Summers decks. A good pickup, a very, very solid pickup in bounce decks as well. Alright, so I believe for bounce level Hope Summers deck players, easy pickup.